Hello, everyone. Hello. Welcome in, Mac Day, Willow, Cosmic, Liari, Mac again, Willow again. How is everybody? Happy New Year and all that. We made it. We are well and fully into 2026 and ready to start Chapter 3. Chapter 2 is looking pretty good. I need to probably play through it a couple times. It is, I think, feature complete. There are probably a lot of missing sound effects. Lots of, oh, I'll do this later kind of things, and then I just never got around to it. But everything works. You could play it start to finish without it locking you out of content. So that's good. So yeah. We're gonna dive into chapter 3 next. That is ridiculous that we made it that far. Oh man, I should do Mario Maker sometime. We should just give up and just play Mario Maker from now on. I'm sure we wouldn't regret that. I do want to play that Super Kamek World some more. Punish myself with that. Wouldn't that be a time? Wow, 35. We're stuck. We're stuck with Willow. So last time, we were mostly just spitballing some concepts, and I came up with some pretty fun stuff, I think. Some cool ideas. We already knew the theme of Chapter 3 and a lot of the major pieces of it, but not a lot of the plot. I think we kind of have a general idea of Chapter 3's plot. There's some pieces that are kind of contrived to, like, force things to work a certain way, but it's like, it's okay, I guess. Been locked away on the Switch until it only exists on my personal Switch. Oh, man. All is like sand on the beach. No work will last forever. Nothing endures. It is only part of that fleeting moment. All art made for the now. Even so, this game will be forgotten. Even the great Mario himself will one day be remembered for the last time, and never again. But art is not made to endure. Art is made to enjoy by those in the now. And so, together, we will all enjoy some art. You may now appreciate the art. All right, stop appreciating it. So the main feature of Chapter 3 is going to be this big old magically empowered train, which I'm very excited about that, just because it's got an absolute banger of a soundtrack. The main villains of the piece will be these bandit snakes. We got some good little bits to do with them. Al's image that he conjured, I really like, of the classic, like, spur shuffling boots coming closer to the door of the saloon with a silhouette pair of legs behind the door, and the doors swing open, and it's actually just two snakes side by side, and then they hop in and, I don't know, rob the place or something. the big set piece battle will be on the train, maybe with some track switching or some kind of hazards coming at you that you have to avoid somehow. Tears in Rain. But I kind of just doodled this like hexagonal pattern, and it kind of grew on me of like making the overland travel look like a board game. I don't know exactly how we can lean into that, but I want to go. If we're gonna do it, it can't just be a, oh, that's interesting, and then move on. No, we have to go like in on it. So I think all of the wandering battles will be meant to look like board game pieces and will stick to the hex grid as they move. So everything will kind of move and make a nice little board game piece sound as it moves. So the main traversal of Chapter 3, it'll be kind of like an open-ended chapter with lots of little places to explore. Very different from Chapter 1 and 2, where you're pretty well on rails. This one you'll be kind of invited to explore the area, and we'll have lots of little pockets of interest that you can walk up to, press A to enter, and then enter it like a level. I guess it'll kind of a bit of a Zelda 2 vibe in Chapter 3, maybe? Maybe we can conjure a bit of that idea. So part of that is we're going to need lots of little points of interest to get into, but also lots of ways we can make a very wide border that prevents passage. One way I came up with is pretty simple: terrain. Just make it like slightly higher. You can't jump in this exploration mode is the idea, so a slight ledge means, nope, that's the edge of the world, can't go that way. But then you have to, like, I don't know, go through a cave or something to get to the upper level, and then you can lower something that creates a ramp that lets you fast travel through that zone. But yeah, I'm really excited about that idea. So I guess the first thing I want to try out is we want to go with, this is a desert, but it's not like Gobi Desert or Sahara. We're gonna go with American Southwest. So I pulled up some pictures. This is the kind of thing we're gonna be doing here. Is these kinds of landscapes. All right. Now, what I really love about these rock formations that you get is that very obvious, like, geological, those horizontal bands you see, kind of that striping across the rock where you see the different sediment layers of different flavors of rock. And I think we could accomplish that with... I don't want to do a full-on triplanar shader because that would also apply to the upper surface. But we have a shader that does something very similar as long as we give it one texture for the side and one texture for the top. And then we would just need to model a bunch of blobby shapes and slap that texture on. So yeah, it's going to be twofold. We need to make a nice little banded desert rock texture, a sort of top desert rock texture, combine that into a shader texture, and then model a quick and dirty rock formation to test it on. That's the plan for tonight. We're going to kind of start small with Chapter 3. If it works out, maybe we'll branch into seeing how we're going to model the desert. I think I would actually like to model them as hexagons that are individually placed. I want them to be scaled not as true hexagons, maybe, but instead as slightly scaled a bit, a little bit squished, so that they fit a regular square grid a little bit better. So a normal hexagon is like square root of 3 over 2 by 1, or some doubling of that ratio. Like, it's 0.8 something times as tall as it is wide. And that's very awkward to work with. But if we can scale it up to like 2 to 3 or 3 to 4 or something that's like, it's close enough, you can't really tell that it's not a true hexagon, then we're in business. So that's the plan. Let's start out with a basic texture. So we're gonna make this one, I love keeping these textures small. I think Doggy harped on this a little bit in his playthrough. I'm not sure if he realizes a lot of the reason that the art sucks is I'm not a very good artist. Let's see, what's our base color going to be? Something like that. But the other reason is just budgetary constraints. Not like monetary budget, because it's a solo project, so there is no... I'm not paying myself here. But budgeting time. I only have so much time I'm going to be able to spend on this project. And so we gotta take advantage of what we can take advantage of. Let's try like a little orange band here. Oh, let's pull up that picture again. Let's really get a good look at that. Yeah, like some really dark, thin layers. A little bit deeper, browner kind of layer here and there. So I've made the texture repeating here, so that's going to make it a lot easier. Just kind of go a little bit side to side here with this. Tilt it down a bit, and then get like a really nice thin line here. A little bit wobbly, I think is good. Yeah. That's pretty cool. Lighten it a little bit here and there, just in places. I think that looks all right. Yeah, it's a good deserty texture. We'll see. We'll see. And then we're also going to need a sort of top piece, which is going to look very similar. We're still going to take that kind of... Actually, let's just copy this whole thing. And then... mix it up a bit more like this. Get some nice big chunks here. There we go. I think that looks all right. Okay, let's officially save our first art for the new chapter. Make that PNG. We're gonna call that Desert Top. And the other one is gonna be Desert Side. We're not even gonna bother with a... Should I? No, we'll copy the top for the bottom piece. All right, next up. Let's grab... there was a GLB of like a stone... platformy thing somewhere in room G. Is it Frog Rock? No, not Frog Rock. Rockwall. I mean, you gotta admit, it works pretty well. All right, here we go. Ta-da. Okay, our triplanar shader here. Man, she really got me good. Just like, I got the perfect hiding place. I'm set up. I could be here for hours if I need to. It's like, Dad, give me a hint. Like, great. Great. Let's see, PNGs. Let's grab Dabbletail's art, texturing, desert side, desert top. No, we laid down the ground rules. No outside, no attic. I was out of luck. Completely out of luck. There, desert top, boom. Desert side, boom. And then, sure, on the bottom as well. Albedo should be white, I think. There we go. UV scale. Oh, hey, all right. Why am I getting that? Where's that coming from? I'm getting some, like, banding on this dimension. That shouldn't be happening, should it? Like, that's got to be coming from the wall. Yep. Okay, so that's working as intended. So why am I getting this one-way business here? Is it... There shouldn't be any... Okay, well, that's one way to do it, I guess. That doesn't look half bad as a texture right there. I kind of want to scale it. Like, it's going to be bigger, of course. To where the rocks are going to look more like this, except with a better stuff, something. Rock! Now that is a good rock. That triplanar shader works some magic. Now, there was this weird thing I found on CSG meshes where the triplanar stuff would do some funky stuff where sometimes it just wouldn't work at all, and I never figured that out. But it's fine. Now, does this have a alpha? It does not. Oh, yes, it could. I can do an alpha channel on this, maybe? Maybe not? Nope, doesn't seem so. Okay. I may have to edit this shader a bit to add an alpha value, default to 1, so that I could perhaps add in some better, like edge highlighting in places. We'll see if that's even something we want to do. Okay, cool. That's not bad. Not bad. All right. Then let's save this shader variant as a material and call this desert layered. So that'll be pretty much our main texture to use for like any sort of rocks, and we can actually, we can modify it slightly for different areas as well, very easily. By just giving it a slightly pinkish hue. A little bit more. Bring out the reds a little bit more for some areas. The reds and the oranges. I like it. I think it'll look a lot better for more complex shapes. We'll do some of those classic arches and whatever else is, I don't know. Okay, cool. Do we open up Blender and start making some rocks? Or do we work on a hexagon? Yay, hexagon! All right. We're gonna call this Desert Hex. So this is gonna be the base of pretty much all of our main desert stuff. Boom, Desert Hex, easy. Actually, that is basically it, isn't it? We'll make it so that it's very tall. We're gonna turn off smooth faces, get those nice crisp edges. We could do it in Blender and give it some beveling. If we do it in Blender, I wouldn't mind a little bevel. A little bevel every now and then. Who would mind? And actually, we could throw our new texture on that right away. Whoop, wait. Here. This is what I've been talking about. This is exactly what I'm talking about. Why is it doing this on this shape, but it's fine on other shapes? That's weird, right? Now, if I tilt it a bit, then it's fine. It seems like it's only when it's exactly when the normal is flush with an axis or something, but not always. Very odd. And that makes me feel like we don't want to use that texture. We could instead use so obvious. We'll use desert side texture. And then we'll chop the top off. Scale it a bit. Scale it by 5. Sure. Slav, hello! Ah. Because you see. Happy New Year's. Okay, something like this. That does cover all of my bases there, right? And then material, we'll use desert top, and then we're gonna say, haha, actually, subtraction mode, wows. I guess that's fine. There we go. Okay, box. That's a hexagon, all right. You gotta admit. So then the question is, what do we scale this such that a copy of it would tile properly? Right? That is the question. Because we can't do that. That's not going to work. We want it to tile well. So let's do some scaling here. That needs to line up with that. Oh, see, that would be awful. So we're not doing it that way. Oh, but we do want it to line up with that. So that's a good constraint there. Square root of 3. Hold on. Square root of 3 over 2. Or would I actually, I guess I would want the inverse of this. Or what? My answer should be about 2.3. Well, that's not gonna be it. Invert this. Well, that's not gonna be it. Okay. Normal hexagon rules. How do I get it? Assuming 60-degree angle here. All right, undo this. Okay. Currently I have an 0.5. Ah, there we go. I think I just need to multiply by 2 better. All right, square root of 3, inverse, multiply by 4. That's it. Got it. So now scale the Z side to this number. Crisp. Cool and crisp and even. Well, that doesn't look good either, does it? Because, yeah, then we're winding up with this, which is not good. So I think instead we go another one up and another one over. Is that where the solution lies? I'm trying to get this to be integer divisible, basically. Multiply that by 2. So that we get something that's pretty hexagonal. This looks much better. That's it right there. I mean, that's not quite it. There we go. 4 by 4.6 is our scaling. So we get this crisp line, which we want. I want the edges to be very noticeable. And so the advantage here is this is grid aligned a little bit better. So it's easier to kind of line these up by just keeping everything on grid. Super nice. Little ledge effect there. Yeah, this is gonna be good. This is gonna be good. We're gonna build out of hexagons. Living the dream. Living the dream. And it... Well, now here's a problem. Collision does not work super great for this sort of thing. Ununiform scale. And so I feel like we do actually need to load up Blender now. Just to make a good hexagon. Just to make a nice, tall, hexagonal pillar. And I don't have a problem with that, honestly. Alright, here we go. Mesh. Cylinder. 6 vertices. 6. Amazing. Move it down by 1. Apply that. Scaling. Huh. CSGs are flat on the top, but Blender's hexagon is flat on the sides. That's weird. Doesn't matter. Scale X by 2. Scale Y. Oop, hang on. Scale Y. Boom. Looking good. Scale Z by like, I don't know, 4. 6. Great. Apply all transforms, and there's a hexagon. Incredible. What I'm gonna do, I don't love the way that Godot imports textures when they're baked into GLBs, especially if I have a lot of things that are sharing the same texture. It feels like it keeps re-importing it over and over. Feels very inefficient. So I'll tell you what we're gonna do. We're gonna do something really silly. I'm gonna make 2 placeholder textures. The exact colors don't matter. Just as long as they're fairly noticeably a different texture than each other. And then I'm going to assign different textures to the top and bottom. There we go. And now this becomes much easier to override in Godot with new textures. What are we going to put that under? Geometry. I'm going to make a folder called Geometry for like geometrical things that are not true intricate 3D models. Oh, but now that we're here, though, it does make me want to go ahead and do a little bit of bevel. Just a little bit of bevel, you know? I don't want to get too complicated or anything, but what if we did just like a little bit of beveling? Just a little bit of bevel. Like a very, barely noticeable bevel. Right? Right. It's fine. And now that I'm doing this, I realized there was a way to get the solidity on a uniform scale by using a CSG polygon, but we wouldn't have gotten the free bevel, so we're sticking with this way. Blender geometry. Okay. So we're basically going to dump this and instead use... oh man, we're not going to get to do this a lot. New folder for Chapter 3. And a folder specifically for models and subscenes that are specific for this sort of like hex crawl zone. What are we gonna call this desert? So this is okay. So let's get punning. Okay, so it is styled after American Southwest. Thank you for the follow. All follows are anonymous. All right, styled after the American Southwest, but we're doing kind of like a hex crawl zone for this part of the game, just for Chapter 3. Hello, hello. Welcome in. So I guess it's gonna be kind of board game themed for this chapter. Everything else is very straight Paper Mario style of a lot of rooms, a little bit of side routes where you can kind of like, oh, there's a secret over here, yoink, oh, there's a character to meet over here, completely optional dialogue, fun, little platforming puzzle, yay. But this is going to be such a different chapter with this like overworld movement. I am doing Godot. We've been touching on just about almost all our normal tool set tonight because we've got art, we've got modeling, we've got actually I haven't done any coding yet in Godot, but we will get into actual coding tonight probably. We still got 2 hours in the stream. Okay, what are we gonna call this desert? It's the hex. The Hexpanse. Oh, it's perfect. How do you? Ooh, it's the Expanse. All right. No coding tonight, but we'll probably get to some at some point. We usually do. We're starting a new section of our game, so there's been a lot of planning and conceptualizing more than the normal heavy coding streams that we do. The Hexpanse. Oh, I like it. I like that. It's a mouthful. It looks like Hex Pants. Okay, hang on. Now I don't like it. Oh, the Hexpanse. Maybe we stretch it out to the Hex Expanse, and then it's okay. Like, I feel slightly less clever spelling it out, but I'm okay with it. All right, add this in. Get rid of this. And then we're going to override. Ooh, right. New inherited. We're going to copy this. I'm going to rip the mesh right out of there. Tear the mesh, limb from limb. What we can do is make unique. And now we can set up the surfaces a lot nicer. We're going to start with this one here. Copy material. Paste material. Wrong material. Paste material. There we go. I'm okay with the slight difference in scale. And similarly, copy this one and paste here. Okay, so now we've got our fake board game tiles. It's fun, it's silly, and now we are gonna do a CSG polygon for the solidity. Gosh, I love CSG so much. What's the way to do this? Would spin make sense? If I did spin, oh, that does seem a lot easier, doesn't it? Do a spin, but do 6-side spin. And then set these up to be X2. And that's pretty much it, right? That's it. I guess change the height of Y to be like -6. Oh, -12 actually. There we go. Does that work? Almost works. Oh, that's why we can't do spin. Because it's not a true hexagon, I forgot. We did a cheaty hexagon. And so that is not going to work at all. Instead, gotta do that. Depth. If I go negative on depth, is that kosher? That doesn't seem to be good. No, you have to go positive and then flip the whole thing around, huh? I'm okay with that. How long have you been coding? Do you mean specifically for this game, or in general? This game project has been going on for about 1.5 years now. In general, geez, that's a question that has a lot of wiggle room. I guess I first started coding on my own in around around 2000 or 2001. I got a TI-83 Plus graphing calculator for math class in high school. And there was a chapter in the instruction manual. The instruction manual for that calculator is like 1 inch thick. chapter 16 in that book was all about the basic programming language that was built into the calculator. And I, at the time, and I guess still am, all about video games. So I got really into making video games on the calculator for a while. Professional in a hobbyist cloak. I suppose so. I suppose so. I don't do game development professionally. Well, I've made like $100, so I've spent like 4 years making games and on stream, and in that time have earned myself a cool $100. So I am a professional by technicality. No, I've been doing software development for about 10 or 11 12 years. No, 11 and a half years. But tangential to game development. Like, you learn a lot of skills in just doing software projects that do make it easier to do game development. But the skills for game development are not one-to-one with normal software. I mean, at work, I can't just decide, you know what this project needs? Let's add a talking bird over here. I think that would really spice things up. You can't get away with that in corporate applications, as it turns out. Which is why I love game development so much, is you can just kind of make decisions as you go. You can invent whole characters in the final project whose sole purpose is so that you don't have to code something you don't want to code. If I had a really silly animation that I had in mind that was like, oh, this is gonna take like days of animating to get this to line up with that, I could instead say, no, there's a character here who says you have to close your eyes, and you do it. Done. It'd be very silly, but that's a possibility. All right, there we go. There's our basic hex for this new zone. Yeah, I think this will work. Let's clear this out. Go back to normal on the color. Like the horizontal striping sells it a lot better. Okay, let's build our first room. The Hex Expanse. I think that's what we gotta call the desert. So we're gonna have a dedicated... Oh, this is gonna be a complex scene. So let's seriously nest some nodes here. We're gonna have one specifically for just hexes. Okay. Oh yeah, this is gonna be big. Yeah, it's gonna be fine. It's gonna be fine. I don't know what you guys are worried about. What are you even worried about? Okay, we have to remember that the normal player scale doesn't apply. Oh, that looks... Okay, I'm glad we went with the beveling. That actually does look really fun. The fact that the edges are hard there is actually exactly what we want. Oh, that's good. That's good. I'm gonna create a container for this and call it a super hex. A hexagon of hexagons. Yeah, Slav. Yeah, we're doing the main region of chapter 3 is going to be a desert made of hexagons. I do, as a matter of fact, and I agree. I don't love having to ratio things by square root of 3, but as a plus, I remember spending a lot of I remember spending a lot of time in college, probably specifically, in classes where I was like, oh man, this isn't math. I'm not interested. And I would start to guess and test, calculate square root of 3. Be like, all right, let's try 1.6. And then I'd calculate 1.6 in the margins of my page. I'm like, ooh, nope, 1.7. And like try and get more and more decimal places of precision. Because to this day, I do not have the method memorized that is like basically the long division formula of doing root calculation. But there is one. I just don't have it memorized. I know of it. All right, here we go. Ba-choom. Oh, it's coming together. Cha-choom. 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 Cha-ching. And cha-ching. Oh, ho, ho, ho. Look at that. That's nice. That's nice. There's no environment yet, but we should technically be able to run around as regular player mode. I don't know what scale we're going to do here. It's going to be a very tilted camera angle, I think. Or it's going to be more of a perspective camera. Normally we use the frustum. Is it frustum camera? Normally we use the frustum camera. We're going to go full perspective here because we're not going to do the paper thing. We're going to do like little board game looking pieces, like little 3D models, pretty basic ones, or they can be like flat, but like not the standard paper character, but like they're meant to be like a little piece of folded paper or something, board game style. The point is, I like how this is looking, but it's gonna need a good environment, right? So we're gonna get a world environment going. I've got a whole folder of environments here. So we're gonna call this one environment. How do we do this? We've been using underscores. Okay, environment desert 1. All right, this environment is going to need. We are probably going to turn on volumetric fog, maybe? We'll see. Camera will probably use depth of field, because I think that could look really, really nice. Maybe even some kind of shader to do like a heat haze effect. I don't know how well that'll work, but we'll try it. Sky. Our sky is going to be a new sky. We're going to use a procedural material because they're super easy to set up. I want to go a little bit different on the color than usual. Can we get more of like a yellowy color? Or maybe an orangish? The ground, we're going to go for, I guess, kind of a, oh yeah, there we go. That's a good ground. A little darker there. Ground curve, yeah, bring it up a bit. Maybe bottom color could be this. That does make it kind of blend a little bit more, which is good, I think. And then horizon color can be, what if it's also this? Ooh, and that just goes on forever. Let's make it kind of foggier for the horizon, right? There we go. Sharpen the curve? Yeah. Horizon color. Don't know exactly how we're gonna do this. Maybe a yellowish into a more traditional blue. Deep blue, maybe? That's an interesting one. I'm not sure I love that. Let's see here. Oh, purple. Purple would be cool. Just kind of give it. Oh, ooh. Now that. All right. As long as you don't go too high towards the magenta, maybe bring it back a little bit. Maybe if we curve it a little bit differently. Oh, actually, that's not bad. That's not bad. Yeah, I mean, it's going to be pointed down most of the time anyway. Oh, that gives everything kind of a reddish hue now, though, doesn't it? Which, I guess that's not bad. But we're not done. We need a light. Nice directional light. Whoa. Whoa. Hold that. Hold it up. Hold it up. Hang on now. Gotta angle that properly. Which way's the sun coming from here? From the back? Front a little bit. A little bit the side. Alright, that's pretty good. That's pretty good. Oh, I guess if anything, it should be more from the left side. Okay, so point it down first. Then give me 3 to the left. And 1, 2. There we go. So yeah, we'll have more of a sun setting in the west kind of thing going on here. Okay. I like it. I like it. Oh, or should the light be more this way? Should the light be more this way? Because then you get those lines a little bit clearer. I guess we need the lines to come up like that. We'll leave it like this for now and kind of work with that. We might get some long shadows that we might need to work with, but for now this is kind of cool. Okay, that's fun. Okay, board game pieces. That's the idea. It's like little board game pieces running around. How are we gonna do that? And also, how big is this board? Like scale-wise, how long does it take you to cross one hexagon? It shouldn't be long, but it shouldn't be short either. All right. Scenes, shared, environments, save. There you go. Like maybe a single tile is pretty big. I should make some little 3D models here. A little cactus. A little cactus. Now, do I embed those in the tile itself? That could be cool. So we would start with a base. I guess what I would do is I would add a folder here just for the tiles, for the completed tiles. And so Desert Hex is your base tile here. Maybe I even give it a little starting hyphen so it sorts to the top. And then we inherit off of that. so that we can stack things on it for other things. Cactus. So we put that in tiles, but now we need to actually make the cactus. Oops. Cancel that. Add a new scene. Here. All right, what's our cactus going to be made of? Yeah, I kind of like it. I kind of want to have it change over the course of the chapter as you complete more of it. Like maybe we actually do a basic sort of day-night cycle or something. Desert dessert. I mean, we've got to bring up the similar words at some point, somehow. I don't know exactly how that's going to come up. A little NPC that's very confused. That seems appropriate. Cactus. Well, I mean, for the most part, I should probably model it. Should I model it? The thing is, once you model it, you have to open up Blender every time. Because like, as it stands, we could build this with a base capsule mesh for the start. Let's use got some very lovely material here, and then I can just change the albedo, so it gives it a little bit of texture, which is fun. UV needs to be triplanar. Yeah, there we go. Great start. I mean, we definitely want the stereotypical cactus, you know? Not this one. There will be... we have a little enemy called the Cactite. There he is. Got a little cactus on top of a rock, on top of a little bug thing. He's basically just a rework of an existing enemy. The classic cactus with sunglasses. Now, is there a good way? Like, I'm thinking a path, a CSG curve, which isn't like the best. Also, this is way too many radius segments. We don't need 64 polygons for this. Come on. Yeah, so what we could do is do a CSG polygon. Then we sloppily slap it around these points as a guide so that it's pretty close. Doesn't have to be exact. Okay, get rid of this transform. Then we grab a curve, a Path 3D curve. This is so easy, easy peasy. Bop, bop, bop. Simple as that. And then this polygon, we switch it to path mode and tell it to follow that path. Now, why is it up there, you might ask? Well, don't worry about it. There we go. Then we grab this and tell it to be better. Is this not the button? Shift click, shift select to drag points out. We can add a few more points in the middle here. There we go. Okay. I thought this was the button for this. Shift and click. Ah, there we go. Look at that. Now we probably don't even need this one anymore. Or this one, because I can just get away with, yeah, this. Okay, path interval. Change it to something a little bit smaller. Make sure smooth faces are on. Maybe a little bit bigger. There we go. 0.5 seems fine. Grab this material, paste it to this one. And I guess the big finish is throw a sphere. Not a very good sphere. Keep it simple, super simple sphere. Let's make this material world triplanar so these mesh better. Yeah. Look at that. Absolutely stunning display. Right, transform. That looks fine. So it's the scale is like a little bit too small. Maybe now a little bit too big, but actually that's fine if it's too big, because it'll just overlap and do that. Yeah, it's whatever. I don't care. That's pretty good cactus. Okay, maybe I do care a little bit. And then let's duplicate this. And then, you know, the classic. I kind of want this this one to be like a little bit higher even. We can always plug it into the ground a bit if we need to. Oh, look at that. Yeah, it's a classic cactus. Let's scale it down, these arms down just a little bit, so they kind of slink into the geometry a bit better. I don't even think I need spikes on this. I was originally gonna plan on putting little barbs on it, but no, I think as it is, it's pretty good. Oh no, it's not good. I just realized it's not whimsical enough. We need some more whimsy, guys. I'm sorry. We gotta whimsy this up. This is not gonna cut it. This is not gonna cut it. Yeah, cactus flower is good. Mostly, I just need the, do I have a, is there a capsule? I mean, why would there be? No. I can just do a sphere. And then just cut it open. So take these faces here. And then separate. Oh wait, I don't need it to be a what you call it. Anyway. Oh, that'll work. Right. Forgot that's an option. What was the width around of this cactus? 0.2 radius. Okay. All. Okay, great. Plug this into the ground. Plug this up. How big was this cactus that we did? One, two, three. About 3.5. Okay. Yeah, that looks about right. Okay. Now, duplicate this. And now, do that. Don't worry about it. It's fine. Similarly fine. Perfect. And then delete these. All right, that looks pretty good. This one can be scaled down slightly. And then shoved in here a little bit better. Okay, duplicate object. Good cactus, good cactus. And now for the whimsy. The whimsy you've all been waiting for. This is what I had in mind. Yeah. Scale it a bit. Wobble it a bit. Oops. Give it some wobbling. Make it wobble. Tilt it back just a bit more. Oh, that looks... We broke something there. Because I scaled it up from the front without being able to see the back. Okay, scale up pretty significantly. You gotta go all in on the whimsy. That's what I'm saying. Like, this is subtle whimsy. But it's whimsy nonetheless. A little bit of whimsy here would be good as well. It's all part of it. Give it a little wobble here. Right. We can actually drop these points entirely. Now that's a bit better. That's a bit better. All of this needs to be shade smooth. Okay, better. Yeah, this is what Dabble Dreams are made of. scale and twist in awkward ways. And rotate in things that don't perfectly face the camera. Like odd angles, strange ways of doing things. All right, now that's a lot better, I think. Nice and silly. Save that. As outdoor decor, sure. I should really start saving these things by chapter instead of by category. All right. Cactus. Do it here in scene. Grab these 3 objects here. Don't save it. Paste it. Yeah, here we go. Mesh. All right. Here's our before and after. Yeah, that is much better. Much more whimsical. I don't know if it needs solidity. I don't know how that's gonna work. Davies, welcome in. How big should we scale the game board for this exploration business? Like now I'm thinking like, is it like, do we scale it like this? Wobble these a little bit here and there. Oh, you know what? I've got a... No, we're not going to multi-mesh it. Never mind. We may randomize the scaling. Let's try a slightly bigger cactus. I mean, you're not wrong. That does feel right. I'm actually starting to feel like I need a slight variant cactus here, because these are all very much one model. Okay, so the idea is that we're going like Catan style design of like, okay, it's like we want the idea of this is the cactus tile. And so what we can do is we can take the solidity and just thunk there. Solidity is invisible anyway. And so then all we would have to do, what is this? What is this node? I don't know what that node is. So then what we would do is we would replace one of these. We're just gonna plop this in here as an example. So there we go. So you see it's just the idea of like, this tile is impassable because cactus. You don't need to care that there are individual cacti there. That's not the important bit. It's like, this is just a wall of cacti. It's an obstacle. Okay. So one thing we want to do in this area is replace the player. So typically, actually leave this one open. So typically, players wandering around Paper Mario style, like little 2D robot. But there's gonna be something different in this area where we're doing this hex crawl. And so I think we want to replace him with a game board piece. And we have two options. Good. It's a Paper Mario like, but Chapter 3 is going to be very different. It typically looks like this. Well, this is a bad room to pick. It's a bad room to pick, huh? Left. There we go. This is the normal game setup. But yeah, Chapter 3 is going to be weird and different. And so we're going to have like this expansive desert. We're calling it the Hex Expanse. And so the idea is once you get to this big desert, rather than walk through massive desert rooms that would be very hard to make interesting, we're going to do kind of an overworld travel style, which up until this point in the game, this is going to be like 3 hours into the game. I thought about Hexpanse, but I couldn't pronounce it well enough. Every time I tried to, I was like trying to enunciate it. It was like, we're traveling out we're going out into the Hex Pants. I was like, no, we're gonna change it to Hex Expanse and just make it easier to say. It's like the pun is right there. That was the first thing I got when I was like, what are we gonna call this place? Of course, the Hex. Wait, I can't say it. That's what it sounds like. Yeah, the Hex Pants. We're like, all right, we're just gonna rename it to the Hex Expanse. The Hex Pants. So we're gonna do like the typical Wild West sort of video game play. So we gotta have an old abandoned mine shaft, Wild West town with a saloon, and then of course the big threat, the boss, is gonna be this massive train. Well, it's gonna be a normal sized train, but it's massive compared to the player because it's a train. The Hex Pants is real. We're gonna have a nice gulch. I think a little bit of a river. I'm trying to decide exactly how it's gonna interact, because in the normal playthrough of the game, like normal chapters, you run into an enemy in the field and you do a battle. You know, like if you've ever played a Paper Mario, it's the standard. You run in and you fight a boss, or you fight a fight. You have not. Well then, this is gonna be a lot harder to explain. So you run into an enemy, and it cuts away to a fight, and then it's turn-based combat, where you do little action commands, and on a success, you deal more damage. Fairly straightforward. Nothing crazy. And then you return back. So I want this area, Pokemon Paper Combat, kind of. The big difference, I would say, is the scale of damage and the amount of actions you can take in combat. Typically in these paper likes, you start with like 10 HP. Oh, did it go loud? Hang on. Turn it down a bit. It might be. the person that has been writing the music has done an excellent job, but sometimes it does require a little bit of balancing. I might actually want to make a note to like confirm those. This is the dungeon music for Chapter 2 Dungeon. But yeah, it's like smaller damage numbers. So in Pokemon, you start with like 30 HP and you get up into like the 200s. But the amount of damage you deal is like, it is opaque. The game doesn't really tell you how much damage you're dealing. And you can't easily see how much damage you're dealing. There's like attack, and then the enemy has a defense, and then there's all these other things that enter into the calculation. In these games, it's very transparent. It's like, okay, you dealt 2 damage. Start of the game, 2 damage is a pretty good move. And 10 HP is how much you have, and that's a lot. Like, I think the first boss you fight has 20 HP or something like that. It's like, okay, 20 is a lot of damage. That's a long fight. But the other thing that changes it is that whenever you are attacking, you have some little tiny bit of control over it in the form of action commands. This is like a little mini game where success means dealing more damage. Likewise, when an enemy attacks you, if you time a button press correctly, you have a chance of reducing damage. And so the game becomes a lot of, you know how much HP you have, you might know how much HP the enemy has, and you have to make decisions of whether to spend resources on moves in order to wrap up the battle faster, or do you think you can actually manage to pull off the block on the next 2 rounds, or do you not want to risk it and just spend some of your resources to go ahead and knock them out quick, that kind of thing. And that, for me, is the fun part about the combat in this system, is having a really good handle on what you've got on your plate and thinking like, okay, there's 3 enemies out there. I could take that one out in turn 1, and then I could maybe use my partner's defense move to block the incoming damage from the enemies for the next round. Oh, but that one has a 25% chance of failure, and all this other stuff where everything's laid out. It's up to you to decide how to approach it. There were some more recent Paper Mario games that I don't love as much. There's some things I love about them. Origami King, I think, had a great story, great music, great art. Well, story was great art, great music, good writing, but the combat, they threw the classic Paper Mario combat out the window in favor of this kind of like puzzle mechanic where there always was a one right answer. And it wasn't fun to me. I didn't like that. I like being able to kind of like deal with the problems and, make sacrifices of health in exchange for whatever. Okay, see, we'll do something like this. Oh, that's coming together. Look at that. Something like this, right? Right? Okay, hang on. I like this. That looks cool. That's a cool desert. It's the Hex Expanse. All right, we're on to something here. Okay. And then you can't go through the cacti either, and we'll have some sort of invisible barrier at the forefront on the camera side. So we're dropping the normal camera setup, which does mean I need to adjust the scene manager, which normally is responsible for adding the player to the scene. So I need to mention that this scene does not get a player added to it. The end. So we're going to have a player setup node here that's going to be unique to this scene. Normal scenes, just get a player plopped in. We're going to have a special player. What is the player going to look like here? I want like a game board piece. So one idea is this type here. I don't know what game this is from. So there's this little DIY solution you can do for D&D or something, which is pretty handy for when you don't need anything crazy. Where basically we just draw it on paper, and then clip it or fold the paper over in some way to make a little stand-up piece. Okay, this is, I guess, the general idea. No, let's say folded paper. Well, the idea is you draw the character, and then you just fold the underside of the paper so that it can kind of stand up on whatever. But I think we kind of want that nice, satisfying click, click, click of like a game board piece. And so maybe we instead want like wooden game board pieces, like almost like chessboard pieces. Like a meeple. Everybody loves meeples. So like one idea is, what if we took the regular player, just plopped him in here, and we used him as a stencil and made a CSG polygon. Me and those CSG polygons, am I right? Kind of flat at the bottom. All right, this is just a prototype. Don't put too much work into it. Okay. And we have like this. That's what they all say. Wood, plank, texture. Vaguely like this, kind of. UV scale more. It wouldn't be the plank texture. We'd have to build something that looks a little bit nicer, but like vaguely like that. Kind of like this, sort of. And then with CSG polygon again, but this one would be 0.1, 0.1, 0.5, 0.4, and then we do a spin to get like this. Yep. You see. Center it a bit better, and then make this like a shiny. What do I got? Shiny copper? No, it wouldn't be metal. We would want it to be Planks might be the way to go. Okay. I don't know if I'm totally in love with it. Player piece. We can change it. We can always change it. Okay, player piece. Player piece needs to be... Ooh, let's break that down into a subnode for mesh so we can animate this in an interesting way to make it kind of like bounce a little bit like as it moves. Go back to the hex expanse. Throw our player piece on here. And attach a camera. I think it's going to be a raw camera. Like, not the usual camera, because this one's going to be perspective. Not there. Rotate on the x-axis. Negative 30 degrees sounds pretty good. I feel like I want... No, I think I want a lower FOV. Like, maybe not... Maybe like 60. Which is weird. It kind of flattens things out a bit more. Which is good. You can't really see the sky as much here, but we can have some, like, programmed in stuff. In fact, let's take the camera's current position by adding a child node, move that under the player, and call that camera target. And then we're going to move camera out on its own. So that we can tell the code to match player target, like lerp towards it. And then occasionally we can pan the camera elsewhere, look at something different, and then pan it back to normal. I think that's a good way to do it. Yeah. Okay. Okie dokie. So then player setup needs its own custom code. And we're going to call that, we're going to put that in the hex expanse. Hex player manager. We're going to on ready player piece and camera. Process every frame. Camera 3D position equals camera 3D position dot lerp to player piece dot position with a weight of 0.05, let's say. Oh, now that's gonna be weird because that's gonna do different things based on the delta. What was the code I had? Godot lerp delta. There's some good... There's an approximation. I used it somewhere, and now I don't quite remember where. I was using POW, I assume? Like I would have had to have been, right? Hard mode, gauge index, go, half step shift, centered UV. Using delta for this gets weird. I could do move towards, but I want it to be smooth. Hey, Yoshi, welcome in. I'm looking for... There's some way to do lerping properly in a process function. Because it's gonna do smoothing differently based on the process speed. Small, hello. No. But chapter 2 is done-ish, mostly done, pretty much done. Frame rate independent dampening using lerp. Okay. Is this what I want? Is this what I want? This guy seems to know what I want. Such hype. Such hype. Yeah, chapter 2 is looking good. I need to do a bit of run through. I've done most of it in a single playthrough, and it's not broken. But I still need to do things like looking for missing sound effects or missing sound music changes, places where the controller should vibrate, that kind of thing. The cleanup and polish to get things looking standardized. And then I need to think about pacing a bit more, because I'm probably going to have to add in rooms in some places, make some places shorter. Because I feel like, and maybe this is, I don't know. How long should a chapter of a Paperlike be? An hour-ish? But then how did Thousand Year Door manage a, casual playtime of 40 hours or so? Well, by sneaky, underhanded, forced backtracking that doesn't seem natural. Oh, it's time to track down General White. Oh boy. Love that. Yeah, using exponential. Alright, what if we just do delta times 60? That's true. I guess the concern, the worry is, yeah, exactly. It's like if I can come up with more ideas for a chapter, I only want to do that if it feels like the chapter is otherwise on the short side. Because I don't want anyone to feel shorted. Like, hey, I got 5 hours out of this grand epic RPG you promised. And I know there will be side content, but I don't think everyone's going to go for that kind of stuff. I don't know. I'm being perhaps extra critical of myself. Someone did a playthrough, and I don't think they were the right person to do a playthrough of the game because they had like no dog in the fight of Paper Mario at all. They're like, I've never played a Paper Mario. It's like, well, the game's not really for you exactly, but I'd be happy to have you test it out for me. And they did, and they complained about things that are just part of the genre. It's like, yeah, as a matter of fact, that is how it works. What if we just do like this? Delta's going to be a 60th of a second normally, so yeah. It's not perfect, but it's like, it's close enough. If you're running at 200 frames per second, maybe you'll see a slight difference in how smooth the camera operates here, but it'll be fine. Oh, Small, we're going off the wall for chapter 3. Things are getting weird. Welcome to the Hex Expanse. Actually, this music will probably be playing while you're out here. It is vaguely board game themey. And as such, I'm while on this, it's basically an overworld. You're basically gonna be walking around on a little overworld map. I really got to figure out the right scaling for this. 6 is gonna be its own weird thing, but at least more normal. Oh yeah, but chapter 3 is looking good plan-wise. We're gonna have a gold mine. We're gonna have a big old bridge over a gulch. We're gonna have cactuses, and there's probably gonna have to be an old prospector. You gotta have an old prospector. We'll do movement. Player piece needs to be a character body. Yes, player piece does need to be a character body. And we will give it a... Cylinder is fine. Oh wait, why did I do CSG cylinder? I'm so I need to add the shape here. Ha ha ha. There we go. That looks great. Player piece needs to have axis lock. Yeah. No turning. No turning. So this is now a character body 3D. MoveVec input dot get vector. Yeah, this one. Left, right, up, down. Yeah. And then yeah, player piece dot velocity just equals that times, I don't know, 1 is probably fine for now. And then I need to do move and slide. Now that's going to be very rigid movement, but I think that's fine. Okay, we have light, we have camera, action? Nope. Because move vec is a vector 0. I need a vector 3 here. X, 0 for Y, and Y for, yeah. Ba, ba. Okay. Also, wait, hang on. Didn't I tell it not to... I saw Leon show up. What is Leon doing here? Is the player here too? Hang on, I'm gonna hide player piece. Regular player is not supposed to show up. Well, I don't see regular player, but I do see Leon. Player is moving. Hold on. Remote view. It did. It added its own camera and a player and a partner. No. You're not supposed to do that. Oh, I added the wrong name of... Well, did I? Hang on. Scene manager. No player scenes. Is it based on the name of the scene? Maybe that's the problem. So it's a capitalization issue. Okay, player is gone, which is good. I mean, it's better. Where were we supposed to go towards? Ah, we were supposed to go towards player piece camera target. That's why. Okay, here we go. Show me. My player's invisible. I'm not moving. Yay. I told it to move and slide though. It's not moving. It's not sliding. Oh wait, it did have a little bit of X there. Okay. So it received... All right, well, why then? Why though? Input direction. Oh yeah, I do need to normalize it. Let's not forget that. And then yeah, set the velocity. And then the base actor does move and slide. And that's it, right? So this new object I've made, we are setting the velocity and we are moving and sliding. What if instead, oh, you don't multiply the vector by delta. Wow. Look at he go. All right, so a few things. First off, our base tile. Let's pull that down slightly. There we go. So we don't slink into the gaps there. Next, the speed is pretty slow. So let's give him a nice 3.0 move speed. Next, I can't help but notice the camera doesn't seem to be moving at all. What's the deal with that? Player setup, camera 3D. Yep, it's not moving. Camera target. Ah. Global position. All right, well let's change all these to global position then, just to deal with that. All right. We're heading across the great expanse. Okay, I think the scale on this is decent. Maybe we could pull it back a little bit. Maybe it'll be dynamic, like we'll do camera zones, similar to what we do in some other chapters, where when you are in the zone, the camera can pull out or back in a little bit. I think that's good. I do like the look of this. Oh, you know what we need? You know what we 100% are gonna need, I think, is a little bit of depth of field. Was that all that? Oh, there we go. I think a little bit of depth of field would do us quite nicely. Something seems different. Like, weirdly different. Nope, it's not that. It's just pulled out a lot. Or it's very, very heavy in suddenly. And I don't know what happened there. Oh, did I change my FOV somehow? No? Well, I had it at 60, and now it's not at 60. Now it's at 37.8. So that's weird. Oh, I can't change it anymore. Oh, that's weird. That is quite weird. Okay. Why did it do that? What did I click that made that happen? Okay, there we go. Okay, the blur is good, but it's too soon. It's too soon. So let's change our far distance to like 15. Let's change the transition to also 15. Okay, that's a little bit better there. Oh, that looks good, actually. That looks pretty good. Okay. Next up. I'm not fully sold on the wooden game board piece. Like, it's okay. But I'm not sold on it. I may do something more like a keep the wooden base, but then do like a sticker. Like, you know, the little clips at the bottom of board game pieces, like those plastic clips, and then like there's a little paper insert. Do something like that. Do a heavy white outline of the player art in some pose. Is the partner gonna follow? I guess the partner can follow as well. All right, let's make an animation for step. Let's call it step. And it's gonna be like that, step, step, step. So we're gonna move just the mesh, not the actual character body. Okay, so it's gonna be brought up and angled. That's a problem, is that you're gonna be kind of down for a lot of it. All right, what if we try cubic? Does that help? I feel like it needs to like hold towards the top longer. Maybe just be faster in general. Like really just rip it up off the game board. Okay, what does that look like on loop? Okay, what if it was back? What's the natural way to pick it up? Is it even? Like kind of the same? Where it's... Yeah, I guess so. I guess so. Don't have it repeating. We're basically going to play it if you're moving and it's not already playing. That's the idea here. So let's... We're gonna grab that on ready. Player piece. Get node. Just just grab it by name. I don't care. If player piece dot velocity dot length is greater than 0. I can do length squared. We can go a little bit. Yeah, we can go a little bit faster. That's fine. If it's less than 0, then if player dot current animation equals empty, then play step. Is that enough? Is that all we need? Let's see how this looks. I'm adding the sound effect myself, of course, but you get the idea. Where's my shadow? Turn on shadows. What are you doing? Directional light. Enable shadows. Oh, yes. That's right. Oh, that kind of looks all right. It's like a different game. It sure does. I'll trade you gears for strawberries. All right, we got something here. It's silly, right? Like the board game movement is silly. I think once we get some more board game, I think we want to change the look of it. I want to go with, I think I want to go with like a pre-baked sticker that we paste on the wood. I think performance-wise, we do want to like pre-bake it too. So basically, export player piece. Part of me is like, oh, what if we could dynamically like create the image object from the player sprite and then generate a mesh based on that, so that I don't have to make any of these models. I just say, hey, create a model of this character, and it does it. Okay, we could do a tool script. Basically, I want to be able to take an actor and turn it into a board game piece object, but maybe not at runtime. Maybe we pre-bake that so that it doesn't have to generate those on runtime. No, because then the mesh is going to look weird and need manual adjusting anyway. Okay, next problem. This guy needs to face the right way. If player piece dot velocity dot x is greater than 0, then player mesh dot rotation. Oh well, yeah, do it this way. Player mesh dot rotation dot y. We're gonna lerp that. Lerpf. towards 0. Lerp weight. Adjust by delta. It's fine. Else, if it's less than 0, go towards pi. Oh. No, I guess we need to have just a player direction. 1 or -1. Player direction equals 1 if you're going to the right. Oh, no. Nah, I mean, that does help, doesn't it? I can think about 1 and -1 a lot easier. And then no matter what, lerp towards target rotation, which is going to be 0 if player direction equals 1. Else, it'll be pi. Lerp towards direction. Easy. All right. So now we should turn. Oh. Oh. Oh, right. Because player piece animation is using rotation to get the rotation Z. Can I change this to 12.1? Is it rotation dot Z? I thought it was rotation colon Z. Banjo-Kazooie. Ba-da-da-dum. Ba-da-da-dum. Bow, 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 bow. I played so much Banjo-Kazooie. What a good game. I bet Germdove hates it. Oh dear. Oh dear. Oh dear. Oh dear. How did this happen? How did this happen? Abort. Wait. Wrong scene. I'm going to assume that was just the object reloading being weird. Nope. Nope. It's just that bad. It's just that bad. Why? Why? Rotation.Z. Going to 12.1. I bet this is in degrees. I bet this is supposed to be... okay. Shoot. What would this be? 12.1 degrees in radians. 60, like a fifth. So like a 0.2. There we go. Tap, 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 tap. Change that from pi to negative pi. Tap, 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 tap. Tap, tap. Maybe I should just, oh, you know what? Maybe I should just have it go whichever direction in 3D space I am actually facing. Also, let's double the lerp weight. Yeah, let's do it that way. Target rotation is just you're facing. Target rotation is player piece dot velocity. How does that work? Oh, let's just take the move vector. Let's take the move vector. Mini Mage. Okay, vector. Got the X and the Y. Angle. It's like it's vector dot angle, right? Yeah. Is that it? Is that all of it? No, we're backwards. We need to. Oh, how far backwards are we? Because that's completely reversed, but only on the Y direction. Left and right is correct. Left and right is correct. So we can get away with negative angle, right? Yeah. But then he always reverts to 0. I don't want that. What I do want... Let's do it this way. Our target rotation. Is it Minecraft blocks? Haha. Mariano. Easy peasy. Say our target rotation is going to be whichever one we're closest to. So we're going to say it's going to be 0. I hate how ternaries are formatted in Python. I miss my C# question mark operator. If the absolute value of the current rotation is less than or equal to, sure, pi over 2. Else, we're targeting negative pi. Oh wait, no. Then it's weird because we want to target either pi or negative pi. Oh no. How do you do lerps with radial some such? How does that work? Basis slurp. Oh, we're slurping. We're gonna be slurping. And that's already wrong. Yeah, that's fine. Oh, we're not getting any quaternions in here. Basis slurp. Okay, let's look at basis slurp. All right, basis slurp. Oh, I hate that. To a basis. Oh, geez. All right. Godot, basis, slurp, rotation. Spherical linear interpolation between two 3D rotations. Avoids issues like gimbal lock. Okay. Yeah, that is what we want. Okay. Player mesh dot transform dot basis. Target basis. Heck, what's our target basis? The heck is a basis? How do I make a base? A 3x3 matrix? Oh no! Okay, that's fine. I'm okay with that. Oh, you know what we should do? And I feel like this is, well, the way we're going to be calculating it is not great. What we should do is ready it up with, like, have a variable representing a left basis or a right basis. Kirby's Avalanche. It was like, what would the genre? It's a up to 2-player, like, puzzle arcade game, like Tetris or Tetris Attack or Puyo Puyo. One of those types of games, right? Did you guys ever play Tetris 2? Tetris 2 is just glorified Dr. Mario. That's what I feel like that's what they were going for, was it's Dr. Mario. Dr. Mario, but with Tetris blocks. But it was still the same concept of there are some things in here that are of certain colors, and you need to destroy them. Kirby's Avalanche is, yeah, it's vaguely similar to Dr. Mario as well. What were some other... Man, Tetris Attack was actually pretty slick. Very fun. Left-facing basis. Right-facing basis. So wait, what does it have? A basis has... It stores the rotation and the position, but we only care about the rotation anyway, so it should be fine. But it was not Kirby themed. Well, now I can't for the life of me remember what the little blobs looked like. I mean, you would have, okay, yeah. They look just like the Puyo Puyo. The little Puyo Puyos. Yeah, that's the ones. Those little blobs. Okay, so what we're going to do is we're going to assume that the basis is correct at the beginning and facing right. And we're going to say right facing basis is player piece dot transform dot basis. Then we're going to do something stupid. Oh, wait, no, we don't want player... We want player mesh. We want player mesh. Where's player mesh? Okay, we do have player mesh. Player mesh.transform by basis. Then we're going to do a stupid thing. And we're going to say, hey, do that. And whatever you wind up with, that's the left-facing basis. Done. And now our target basis, we can just choose it here and say target basis is right facing if okay. You know what? That does seem simpler, doesn't it? So I can say basis dot looking at. Yep. Okay. No, yeah. Like this, right? And then I don't have to actually... So it's the same concept. Oh, but you know what? If it's that easy, then maybe we can calculate it every time we need... it's a matter of clutter. It's a trade-off. On one hand, we clutter the code, but it optimizes performance more. Man, I've had some kind of congestion thing going on for like the past couple of days. I swear I'm like barely holding off a rough cold, but we're gonna do our best. I need to charge my phone. Allergies? I don't think so. We had a lot of family over the other night, and I might have caught something. Target basis. Now this right-facing basis or left-facing basis. This is just wrong, isn't it? Yeah, basically that. And then I want my lerp weight here. Double the lerp weight. Okay, so this is not gonna go to the right place, but it should at least go. Okay. All right, that's fine. Oh, because the default basis is looking... What's the default basis looking at? At 0, 0, it's probably looking right, isn't it? Like, that's the default. And so... Yeah, default basis... Oh, wait, no. Maybe. It's a 3x3 vector consisting of x, y, and z. Oh, boy. Facing. Looking at. Creates a new basis. Such that the forward axis points toward the target position. So that means I want forward. Forward is the default. And this should be backward. Or back, I guess. Okay, well, I was correct in my... It still does something. It's still doing something weird, and I think it's related to this. How do I calculate? I should just be looking at rotation Y. Now, rotation Y could be more than 360. So what I should really be doing is looking F pos mod, a player rotation Y over 2 times pi. And then if current raw is less than or equal to pi, or greater than or equal to pi times 1.5. Bomberman. Gosh, I love Bomberman 64, the second attack. No, it still like snaps back weirdly. She sure did, by subterfuge. Oh, now what's going on there? We do like a little 360. That doesn't look like a slurp to me. Oh, you know what? It's doing the whole... Can I get just the Y? Is this reasonable to do? Yeah, it's slurping from 360 to 0. Oh, man. I thought I was onto something. I should really get the controller out for this. Also, it's not... It's done slurping. Oh, it's because I'm not slurping down here. I should be slurping. I should be slurping with the best of them. Target basis is what here? It is... Oh, here we go. Looking at a vector 3 based on this. Basically this. Possibly rotated in a weird way. Oh, geez. Slurp towards that. Can I generate a basis to slurp towards from a vector 3? Great. Looks great. Left, right, down, up. I feel like I just want to handle the rotation myself and not have to learn basis stuff. Slurp feels a little bit more complex than lerp, as it turns out. It's fine. fine. All right. How do we do the slurp? Godot slurp to vector 3. No, not interested. Get this AI out of here. Thank you very much. Get it out of here. Slurp, slurp, slurp. How to lerp. How to lerp, how to slurp. Oh boy. Oh, Quaternions. Oh, Quaternions. Okay, here we go. All right. Yes, you can make the slurp happen from vector 3. Oh boy. Smooth rotation equals. It's gonna. But then it's gonna make a Quaternion. What the heck do I do with a Quaternion? How do I get the rotation out of a Quaternion? Get angle? Okay, that does give me a float. I guess. All right, don't do anything at velocity. Let's just focus on the basics here. Let's get rid of this. This. Okay. We're gonna copy this guy's code. Boom. We want mesh dot transform basis. Uh-oh. I guess it has changed a bit. Okay, that seems fine. All right, our target rotation is our velocity. Yep, it's a vector 3 velocity. Do this. And now, this right here is a Quaternion, I think. So I should be able to say player mesh dot rotation dot y equals smooth rotation dot angle. Nope, not angle 2. Get angle. What angle is that going to give me? Just a rotation. Okay, sure. It's just a rotation. What rotation? Don't worry about it. A rotation. Thank you for the follow. All follows are anonymous. Ah, well now a new problem emerges because we are using the animation of the up and down. I can pull that into I can pull that animation into another layer here. And instead of going off of the mesh, we go off of... please let me. Please let me. Oh, you know what I could do? I could open this in Notepad to edit it. I'll edit it directly. You can't stop me. So animation player, instead of animating on mesh position, we're gonna animate this other thing. Rotation, rotation, rotation. Save. Reload. Did I break it? I might have broken it. Oh wait, but it's the reset that doesn't even need that, so we're good. Oh wait, actually, I do need that. But we're good now. Close this. Don't save it. Get rid of it. Okay. Jeez. All right, how are we doing now? We have absolutely no rotation now. Great. Why? I thought this whole slurp thing was gonna solve all our problems forever. All right, let's say wait 1. Nope. No slurping happening. Or maybe it is, and I'm just not seeing the effects. Nope. Nope. No luck. This is always coming back as 0001. Player piece.velocity. Well, that's probably because I don't have a player. Axis must be normalized. The axis must be normalized. Don't you guys love Quaternions? Never played Factorio. Oh man, I love Factorio. Okay, we're no longer flooding. But I'm still not getting any values here. Print target rotation. 0001 is apparently our target rotation. That doesn't sound right. Wait, what's this second parameter here? Arc from arc to, no. Here we go. Axis and float. Constructs of Quaternion represent a rotation around the axis. Around this axis by this angle. Okay. I think I can make that happen. By this axis would be vector 3 dot up angle velocity dot angle to vector 3 dot right, I think. Oh. Almost. Angle 2 doesn't give us exactly what we want, does it? I guess what I want is an arctan. Where's arctan? Math dot. Oh, atan. Duh. Player piece dot velocity dot z. Player piece dot velocity dot x. Okay. Change this back to lerp weight. Ugh. Invalid access to property Z. Here? Oh. Yeah. Sure enough. Oh, misspelling. I see it. Okay, well that's not right, obviously. Look at this. Bop, bop, bop. Slurp. What are you doing, Slurp? I might not have a brain big enough for Slurp. Oh. Okay. Where to? Where to? Germ Dove's doing Core Keeper. Oh, D's back Silk Songin'. Oh, and Small's back on Burger Game. I guess I'll watch the DVOD later. Let's go over to Small's stream. Oh man. Okay, we have the basics of a weird Chapter 3 zone. I think this scale might be right because it takes a while to get around. And that's kind of what I want, is like big desert, but not to scale. Actually, that being the case, do I even want to be this on the nose with this? Oh, man. Now I'm doubting myself. Because then you're going to think, oh, well, that's the scale, is that this is the... Oh, man. I need to make some things that are, like, very obviously scaled down or something, or this is just not going to work. We'll figure it out. We will figure it out. Challenges to be overcome. Everyone, have a wonderful night. I will be back Sunday, and I will see you then. Bye.